published our Sovereign Sustainability Report in November 2022, so it's just last month, and we have a gray swan on the cover. So in the past couple of years, we have seen a series of gray swans appear. Gray swans essentially are events that are deemed that are possible but not very likely, and we have seen the likelihood of such events materializing increase over time. And as I said, in the past couple of years, we have seen a gray swan each year. And now we are finding ourselves at the end of 2022 in a global environment that has experienced profound geopolitical shifts. We have a war raging in Europe, we have a food and cost of living crisis around the world, which has affected both developed and developing countries alike. We have an energy crisis in Europe, and which is pushing our energy transition efforts to become even stronger and more concentrated. So in the future, we believe that the importance of sustainability and the importance of monitoring those risks is only likely to increase. Well, when we think about it, a lot of these events we have seen on a smaller scale play out in and around the European Union. I mean, we saw pressures on food prices being the catalyst for Arab Spring, and then the European Union saw a wave of refugees enter, and at the time there was quite uncertainty as to how we can handle it, but as the EU showed, this is quite possible to deal with if we are approaching the question constructively. Second, the energy transition that is spurred by the conflict in Europe is something that we have been postponing for one reason or another. So we can take the positives out of the current situation and continue investing in renewable energy, continue investing in decentralized energy production and consumption. And we are more likely than not to start seeing these events or similar to these events play out on a global scale, but all things that we have managed to deal with before. And if we look back to the Greek financial crisis, there was debate between the northern countries and the southern countries with regards to help that needs to be extended to deal with the current problems. And then learning the lessons from this, now in the aftermath of the energy shock that was experienced by Europe and is still experienced, and especially after COVID, we have seen that the dialogue between North and South has become a lot more constructive. And we can see that a number of countries in the European Union have benefited from funds that are distributed so that they can deal with the aftermath of the COVID-19 crisis. And now a lot of them are going to also be used for investments in renewable energy. So if we think of what is facing the world on a global scale, the problems seem to be very similar. There will be need for help from developed countries to developing countries, and now in COP27 that just took place in earlier this year, we saw the establishment of the Loss and Damage Fund, recognizing that climate change is going to affect poorer countries more strongly than developed countries. And so I think that this is the key going forward, and this is the way to start dealing with these risks. Global cooperation, and we must not forget that we are all in this together. And the European Union can serve as an example of cooperation and working on common solutions and compromises that work for everyone. For the year ahead, for 2023, we should expect the situation to become more difficult before it becomes easier. But what we have seen in 2022, that cooperation does work, and we have started seeing how we can solve the bigger issues, first in the European Union and then globally. Risks are likely to continue to materialize, but as long as we're prepared and we act as a responsible investor, I think that we can deliver values to our clients.